Hello, everyone, and welcome to Small Talk at For Martin Church. My name is Aquila, and I am the minister there. I hope that you've had a good few days, and as I'm looking out of the window just now, there's no rain, which is a shocker at first. There's still no sign of a blue sky as I'm looking out. It is a bit grey, but there's no rain. So I am hoping that perhaps the rest of the week can go without rain, but I don't hold out any hope for that. I don't know about you, but the last few days, has been happening in America and what is coming out of America has been quite worrying. And it got me to thinking, who do we want to be as a person? Who do we want to be as a Christian? We're hearing a lot of rhetoric about Christian nationalism, about who you are as a tribe, what tribe you're in. And we have a lot of things going on around racism and what happened over the weekend in America. If you don't know, I'm going to leave that to you to find that out. But I have to ask you, who are you? Who do you want people to remember you as? What are you going to leave behind for your children and your grandchildren? I see in some respects that racism is on the rise. I see it in America. I see it in some parts of Britain as well. And also, I want to talk to those Christians who saw what happened in America, what Donald Trump did over the weekend, the Christians that saw that and sort of tried to brush it under the carpet, that it was just a joke. Racism is never a joke. Racism cuts to the heart of who a person is. I can't change my colour, and neither can you, and we should not be judged for our colour. And then I think back to what Jesus said. You love thy neighbour as yourself. And when the rich man asked him, who is my neighbour? And he tells the story of the Good Samaritan, the story I'm sure many of you know. Now, Samaritans and Israelites at the time were at odds with each other. They did not like, in fact, there was real hatred between the Samaritans and the Israelites. But in this story, the stranger who was a Samaritan helped the man who was lying at the side of the road. Now, religious men had walked past this injured man, looked, and then just walked off. But the Samaritan stopped, and the Samaritan helped. And Jesus, when he told that story, was telling it so that You was telling it so that when you looked at someone and you saw this is a Samaritan, this is someone who is black, this is someone who is Asian, this is someone who is white, you don't automatically judge them because of the color of their skin. You judge someone on their actions and their words. You judge someone by how they behave. You judge someone by the words that they speak. Do they speak words of kindness, of conciliation, or do they speak words of hatred? And even then, as a Christian, you pray to God that God can forgive them and change their heart. That is what being a Christian is about. It's not about judgment because of colour. And anyone who thinks that sending a cartoon of ex-President Obama and his wife out with their heads on bodies of monkeys is funny, I think you have to have a look at yourself. I wasn't going to be as political as this morning, but I think it's important as Christians that we call out behaviour like this. We are ambassadors for Jesus. And that doesn't mean that we just go to church and we just we are in all the groups that are in the church. It's far more than that. We are representatives here on earth for God, for Jesus, for the Holy Spirit. We should be the best versions that God knows we can be. That God knows we can be. And we should strive for that every day of our lives. And part of that is protecting the vulnerable. And I mean those who go about their daily business in life, who aren't perhaps as powerful and as rich as the Obamas. I'm talking about the average everyday person who faces racism, whether it's overt or whether it's subtle. We should call that out and we should stand alongside people who are persecuted because of that. That is part of being a Christian. Now, I apologise that maybe this wasn't the type of small talk that you were expecting, but I think that it's important that we do think about that in the days, the weeks, the months that ahead. Because if we stand by and do nothing, that's when evil has the chance to take hold. Thank you for listening. God bless and take care. And please like, subscribe and share. Thank you for listening. Goodbye.